right. Thank you so much for that. Welcome to the Reset webinar. Who is excited to be here live joining us, the Wale Olushola Incorporation team for the Reset webinar. Let me see you say yes. Let me see you say yes in the chat room. Let me see you say yes, yes, yes. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here tonight. Wow, excellent. Yes, I see John, I see Tolu, I see Mommy Irene. Anyway, this is business. Say yes. I see Nana, Ijoma, Tolu, Taiwo. Yes, I see the yeses. Yes, welcome everyone. Yes, keep it coming, keep it coming. We are going to be using a lot of the chat this evening. Jesus Gospel Campaign says yes. So yes, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful time of life transformation together. My name is Ololade Olushola, and I'm excited to welcome you to this beautiful life transformation experience of the Wale Olushola Incorporated. Now, this is the Reset webinar with Wale Olushola. Give yourself a round of applause for coming, for registering, for attending. Wow, thank you, everyone. Okay, so I've told you, yes, let me see the applauses. Let me see the applauses. This is going to be a class that is going to involve a lot of communication. The chat room is going to be active. The team is there to respond to you. So I want everyone to just relax. But before we do that, I would love to know where you have joined from. My name is Ololade, as I've said, and I'm joining you from Lagos, Nigeria. So let me see where you're joining from the chat room. Let me see who is going to be the first person to drop. I am live with Wale Olushola in Lagos, Nigeria. Aisha says, I'm joining from Abuja, Nigeria. Oh, Lagos, Nigeria, Lusaka, Hawaii, Abuja, Lagos, England, Oniru, Zambia. Wow. Abuja, Lagos, Toronto, Lagos, Nigeria. Woo! Lagos, Nigeria. Awesome. From Maryland, USA, Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, joining from Abeokuta, Nigeria. Joining from Milton Keynes in UK, Port Harcourt, Maryland, USA. I'm joining from Houston, Texas. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Woo! Can you see that? That's a global audience at the Reset webinar. I want to say thank you for joining from all over the world. We are so excited. Kampala in Uganda. Awesome. Wow. Sister Caroline Agasa says she is in Kampala, Uganda. And I want to say beautiful, beautiful welcome to everybody. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Where's my alarm? I'm supposed to be pressing an alarm. Are you ready for this experience? Are you sure you're ready for this experience? Okay, but before we go right into it, I'm going to be doing a live, I'm going to be doing an icebreaker. Are you ready for my icebreaker? See, the person that first gets the answer right, maybe you're going to get a gift from me. Pastor Rems, okay, this is not Pastor. Let's do Remy. Check out let me see the person that will get it. There's an answer in my head. So if and I'm going to give you clues. I'm going to give you clues. I only saw 2 people say that I'm ready. Andrea says I'm ready. Christian, is that the only 2 people? How many have joined? We are 37 on this call. Okay, Gbemi says I'm ready. Temi says I'm super ready. I'm ready. Hey, let's go there. Caroline Taiwo says I'm ready. Awesome. Okay. How many words can we get from the word reset? How many words can we get from the word reset? Don't worry, I'm going to give you clues. Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it 40? Is it 50? Who's going to answer? I'm in the chat room checking it out. Let me see the first person that will get it right. Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it 40? Is it 50? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it 40? Is it 50? Aisha says 40. Let's see. Gloria says 40. Ifeoluwa says 30. Jennifer says 20. Keep it coming. I still have 1 minute left. Adana says 30. Temi says 30. Jonah says 40. Okay. Caroline says 10. Let's see. Okay. Is that all the answers I have for tonight? Andrea says 10. Tolu says 40. Okay, keep it coming, keep it coming. I still have 1 minute left. Irene says 50. Mojoin says 19. Okay, let's see. All right, so the correct answer is, ring the bell, 2030. Let's see. The correct answer is 40, and the winner is Aisha. Let's clap for Aisha from Abuja. Woo! She was the first person to get it. We have 40. Aisha is dancing. Yes, so Aisha, you are going to get a kiss from me right now. So catch it. Anyways, thank you everyone for engaging in that amazing, amazing time. Thank you again for registering for the, reset webinar with Wale Olushola. I know a lot of us in this room know Wale Olushola as a pastor and the apostle of grace, but there's a part of Wale Olushola that you're going to see come alive tonight. And I tell you, you will never forget in your life. All right, so as we prepare for this wonderful class, I want to go over this important, important information. I'm sure a lot of us had seen that in our emails. One, set up your space. So wherever you are, if you're in a noisy environment now, please move away from that noisy environment and join from a quiet, distraction-free space so you can stay fully engaged. There are going to be haha moments in this room, and we don't want you to miss that too. We recommend that you have a journal and a pen with you. Writing helps you to capture insights more clearly than relying on your memory. So a lot of us these days will say, oh, we have phones and all that. Please get a journal now, or open a note in your phone to take notes. I'm still reading things I wrote in 2011, 2012. Why? Because I wrote it down. So if you don't have a journal now, put on your video so that I will know the people that don't have journals. I will see their faces. Awesome. But we advise that you get a journal and a pen so that you'll be able to take notes in this class. So we recommend that you get a journal quickly to write. Two, during the webinar, kindly keep your microphone muted. Kindly keep your microphone muted. If you have questions or you need assistance, the chat box is always open and our team will be available to support. Three, engage on social media. Engage on social media. We allow that. Please, as you gain insights or aha moment, feel free to share on your stories, on your WhatsApp, and please tag at Wale Olushola on social media. You may also request to collaborate with a post on Instagram or Facebook about how powerful this class was, because I promise you it's going to be very life transformational. So if you want to do that, please just send us an, collaborate with the post. You want to talk about how this experience, we welcome that. Just make sure that you ask us to collaborate or you tag us right on social media. We would love to read your reflections and testimonials. Also, please stay connected with us. Wale Olushola Incorporated, which is being led by Wale Olushola, has a WhatsApp channel. We have a WhatsApp channel. So please check us out on the channels on website. Just type it out, Wale Olushola Inc. Remy, please, can you help me with that in the chat room? Wale Olushola Inc. And please follow our WhatsApp channels for details about this organization, and also for you to be able to get free resources from Wale Olushola, to be able for you to be able to get things that are happening live about Wale Olushola Incorporated. So many things are coming in 2026. And we don't want you to miss out. Yes, the link to the channel is live in the chat room. Before we start this beautiful class, please follow us on WhatsApp channel. Follow the WhatsApp channel so that you can be the first to have, access to everything happening with the Wale Olushola brand. With the Wale Olushola brand. Are you ready? Before I go, I would like to call one of our team members, Andrea, to share the profile of the person, whether is qualified to teach us at the reset. Thank you for joining again, and see you right after the webinar.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. It is such a pleasure that I can introduce Mr. Wale Olushola, which is my papa, really, to be honest. So let me start introducing him. So, Mr. Wale Olushola is a global leader, mentor, apostle of grace, and a consultant to nations. His ministry and work span across the church, business, and leadership ecosystems, empowering people to lead with spiritual intelligence and kingdom excellence. Known for his ability to integrate divine wisdom with practical strategies. He helps leaders, entrepreneurs, and organizations unlock their full potential while building lasting impact. He is certified in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and life coaching, and holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in linguistics and a master's in business administration with a specialization in marketing. He's also a public speaker and he has authored many books. He had an 18-year banking career working at First Bank PLC and Guarantee Trust Bank PLC in various roles. And later he became the managing director of BGL Assessment Management Limited before moving into full-time leadership and transformational work. As the founder of Wole Olushola Inc., he equips leaders with spiritual intelligence, wisdom, and excellence to thrive in every area of life. He also runs the Exquisite Marriage Company in partnership with his wife, Ololade, and their vision is to make marriages work. He is fully involved in men's ministry and has a platform called the Men's Refinery, where he equips and helps men in fulfilling their greater purpose in life. He is married to Ololade, which is my mama, by the way, and their union is blessed with 2 children. You can visit www.woleolushola.com to find out more about him and the other things that he does. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Wole Olushola, my papa.
All right. Good evening, Andrea, and thank you for the introduction. As a matter of fact, as we were going through the introduction, my head was swelling. And I'll tell you why my head was swelling. You know, it's a testament for how far I've come in life. If the things that were meant to happen to me had happened, maybe you'll be celebrating my memorial today. 15 years in memoriam. So I've been a very privileged man, and you know, many of the things that I've learned, that I've studied, that I've experienced in life, that have brought me a bit this far. Those are the things that I want to share with us this evening. And of course, let me blow a kiss to my beautiful wife, my soulmate, always helping me and partnering with me in everything that I have to do. So thank you once again for making it here. We are not going to waste your time. I'm going to go straight into the business of the day. So let me first of all bring up my presentation for tonight, and you know, the reset webinar. Now, extracting the gold, you know, raw material for the future. By the end of this webinar, you will be able to review your year without guilt or regret. You will be able to identify patterns that shaped your results. You'll be able to extract practical wisdom from good and bad experiences, wins, wounds, patterns, and possibilities. You'll be able to release emotional weight that drains your progress. You'll be able to build clarity and direction for the year ahead. And then, of course, you'll be able to transform your memories into momentum. Now, there's nothing wrong in resetting. As a matter of fact, reset simply means review, execute, strategize, empower, and transform. Now, I'm going to share a video with us very quickly. In the early 2000s, I'm sure you all know that I'm a Manchester United fan. The dominant team in the English Premier League was Manchester United. As a matter of fact, most games that Manchester United played, the opposing teams had already lost in the dressing room because they knew that they were in for a hiding. But there was a particular game in 2001. You know, what Manchester United was doing was just replaying the same templates. The same template that had been working, they would just come to each game and replay that template. Now, there was a particular game which I'm going to show us very soon, that at the end of the first half, United was 3 goals down. Now, quickly watch that video with me, and I'm going to bring out the lessons from the video very shortly.
The sunshine is out. Jeff Winter is the official from Stockton-on-Tees. This is always an eagerly anticipated fixture. For Manchester United, it's an important fixture as well. One win in their last 14 away games in all competitions.
United playing some nice football in midfield, I must say, Steve.
Nicky Butt might open up for him. Nicky Butt! Wasn't that far away, and I tell you something, Neil Sullivan wasn't moving. And the touch! And United have conceded again, and Dean Richards has a dream start to his Tottenham Hotspur career. Ziege. And Poyet has a bit of space. And Ferdinand is onside. It's Les Ferdinand for Tottenham, and it is 2-0 and disaster for United. Tarico. Poyet. United now having been forced to work very hard to regain possession. But Poyet is onside, and the ball is still in play. It's still Gustavo Poyet, and it is 3-0. Christian Ziege for Spurs, unmarked.
All right, now let me pause a bit. Manchester United were English champions. They were defending European champions. But 30 minutes into the game, they were 3 goals down. Disaster was about to happen. Now, let's see how the game ended.
At the back post. Gary Neville. Good ball in, and United immediately reply through Andy Cole. His 3rd goal in 4 games. He scored here. Second to deliver. Blanc with a header, and Laurent Blanc scores for the first time for Manchester United, and what's more, gets them right back in this game at White Hart Lane. He had that great chance, of course, to make it 3-3. Very much hope United don't rue that miss. That's lovely play from Cole. Scholes is bursting into the area. It's Van Nistelrooy, and Manchester United have come from 3 down and made it 3-3. This is Varane. Oh, would you believe it? Sabre Varane with Manchester United's 4th. 4 inside 30 minutes. Now there's a smile from the manager. Cole trying to find Van Nistelrooy. Solskjaer. Owen still. 2 waiting for the cross. Beckham is there as well. It's David Beckham. And that is good night, Tottenham Hotspur. The captain, for the first time, has sealed it with his 5th of the season. Truly magnificent games of recent times. Brings a smile to Alec Ferguson in the end, but at half-time it certainly wasn't there at 3 down.
All right, so at the end of the day, Manchester United won by 5 goals to 3. But what happened? They were 3 goals down at the end of first half. Now, I listened to Sir Alex. He said when they got into the dressing room, he simply told the boys, he said, forget about the tactics. Just go to the field and enjoy yourselves. And that was exactly what they did. And in 45 minutes, they scored 5 goals and eventually turned the match around. Now, the truth is this. The fact that some things have been working for you doesn't always mean they will work. When something that has always worked for you does not work, you have to press the reset button by first of all doing a review. And you should also review things that have even always worked, because there will always be something to improve on. There will always be something to stop doing, and there will always be something to start doing. And you see, the truth is that the world is always changing. The fact that what worked 10 years ago might no longer be relevant today. And that's why we always have to pause, review, and do a reset. Now, let me go on. Before you rush into the next chapter of your life, we must first pause long enough to understand the chapter that we are closing. A lot of us don't lack motivation. What we lack is clarity. Clarity doesn't come from running forward. It comes from looking backwards with intelligence, curiosity, and compassion. So reviewing is not weakness, it is wisdom. If it is no longer working, sit down and review. What do I have to do to make it work? Because at the end of the day, it's your life, and you don't owe anyone any apologies for what you have to do to make things work. Now, I've noticed over time that when a year is about to begin, a lot of us set goals. The same goals we set in 2024 that didn't work. We didn't review them. And then we simply came to 2025 and set the same goals again without doing any review. So you find out that by the second, third week in January, you're already exhausted. You're already frustrated, and you just go through that year on autopilot. And then 2026 comes, rains, and repeats without having reviewed. So you find out that by the time you have done the same thing for 25 years, after a while, you just stop totally setting goals for the year because you are not expecting anything. That is why it's always very, very important to review the year before you go into it. Now, a strategic pause. Stop the autopilot. Life moves so fast that we often carry old habits, unresolved emotions, and unchallenged assumptions into new seasons. Now, what does reviewing force us to do? It forces us to ask, why did this happen? What did it teach me? What am I repeating without realizing? Now, very quickly, I want you to look at your 2025 and look at all the things that you've gone through. And I want you to first of all ask yourself, why did this happen? Why did this happen? You know why? Until you ask questions, you never get answers. Every question opens a door before you. So first of all, ask yourself, why did this happen? Especially the failures. Why did this happen? And then number two, what did it teach me? What lessons can I learn from this? And then, what am I repeating without realizing? If you keep repeating the same things, you keep getting the same results. So let me go through it again. Number one, why did this happen? Number two, what did it teach me? And then number three, what am I repeating without realizing? Why did this happen? What are the lessons to be learned? What is it teaching me? And then what am I repeating without realizing? Now you find out that as soon as you start asking these questions, you start getting answers. And then as soon as you start getting answers, clarity will start coming from you for you. And then you are able to enter the new year totally prepared and not moving in the same trajectory that you've always moved. All right, now let's go on. Now, a new year with the old mindset is simply a date change, not a life change. So if you have not asked those questions and you enter the new year, what has simply happened is that the date has changed. You still get the same results. Reviewing helps you avoid repeating cycles by understanding the cycles. It turns experience into intelligence. Experience alone doesn't make you smarter. It is reviewed experience that does. Two people may go through the same events. One gets stuck and then the other grows. What is the difference? Reflection. The difference is reflection. So that's why in most cases, you find two people doing the same things. One is getting results. The other is not getting results. And after a while, the one that is not getting results convinces himself that I must be under a curse. No, it's not a curse. It's simply because they've not taken time to review. They've not taken time to reflect. They've not taken time to ask questions. And when you are not asking questions, you will keep getting the same results over and over again. Now, in 2008, I'm sure a lot of you know my story. I had lost so much money in the capital markets. And after a while, I became depressed. And eventually, I became suicidal. Now, when I became depressed and suicidal, it wasn't because there was a lack of knowledge. I had a lot of knowledge, but the knowledge wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for me at all. Now, on the day that I would have taken my life, one thing led to the other, I didn't take my life. And then the next morning, I sat down for the first time that all these things I know, why are they not working for me? I started asking questions. And when I started asking questions, the answers started coming. You know why? The answers you need to your life, they are inside you. But you just need somebody to be able to help you to navigate, to look inwards. And then the answers start coming. If you are not used to reviewing, if you are not used to reflecting, if you are not used to looking inwards, you won't get answers. You know why? Most times, things coming from the outside, they are only going to motivate you. The things that will really be the elixir for you to reset, they are always inside you. Because every man has the answers to his life inside of him. Now, let me go on with my slides. We are going to watch another video very shortly. But before we get to that, now, experience versus intelligence. Experience alone doesn't make you smarter. It is reviewed experience that does. When you review, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center. This helps you break patterns and design new strategies. Unreviewed experiences get stored in the amygdala as fear, avoidance, or insecurity. Reviewed experiences get refiled as wisdom. You are literally upgrading your brain. So if you failed before and you don't review why you failed, you know what your brain will interpret it as? It will interpret it as fear, avoidance, and insecurity. Now, failing doesn't make you a failure. It is not reviewing the failure that makes you a failure. It's, like I always say, it's not the falling down that makes you a failure. It's the staying down. Have I failed before? Of course. Am I still likely to fail in future? Very, very likely. But see, it's not what happens to me that matters. It is the review that I do from what happens that really matters so that I can move forward. There's a place called forward. However, you will never, ever be able to move forward until you review what brought you down. Now, in my language in Yoruba, it's always said that when a child falls down, he looks in front of him, he looks forward. But when an adult falls down, he doesn't look forward. He first of all looks behind him. Why does he look behind him? He wants to know what made him to fall down, so that in future, if he sees the same thing, he will know how to avoid them. Now, let's go on. Now, when you look back with clarity, you realize how much you survived, how much you achieved and matured. One of the most healing forms of growth is realizing that what felt like a breakdown was actually preparing me for a breakthrough. Pain turns into perspective. Confusion turns into clarity. Memories turn into meaning. However, the most important thing is this: the breakdown will never become a breakthrough if you don't review. So it's not the breakdown that is important. The most important thing about the breakdown is the review. Because inside every breakdown that is reviewed, there's a breakthrough. So I know a lot of us have failed. I know a lot of us are falling down, but that's not the good news. The good news is this: review what made you fall down. Review what made you fail. Because inside every falling down, inside every breakdown is power for the future. But you have to review, you have to reflect, and then you give yourself power to be able to go forward. Now, when you hear the name Steve Jobs, what comes to your mind is Apple. But Apple that you see today was a product of failure. But let's look at Steve Jobs. He's been dead for about 14 years or more, but we are still talking about him. So when Steve Jobs had a breakdown, what did he do? Steve Jobs was famously fired from Apple, the company that he built. I'm sure if it was a lot of us, we won't be able to rise up again. At first, when he was fired from Apple, he felt lost, he felt humiliated, and he felt betrayed. I'm sure we can resonate with that. But years later, Steve Jobs said something. He said getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. That doesn't make any sense. How could the best thing to have ever happened to you was getting fired from your own company? It's all about perspective. Now, why did he say that it was the best thing that could have ever happened to him? He reviewed the experience and reframed it as three things. Number one, he reframed it as a reset, a creative rebirth, and identity refinement. I personally, I have had many failures in life. But the first thing that happens to me as soon as I fail is to be grateful. Thank God I can even fail. The reason why you can even fail is because you are doing something. People that don't do anything, they don't fail. People that don't do anything, they don't learn lessons, because I've learned to see failure as a feedback. I've learned to see failure as a teacher. So when Steve Jobs found himself in that position where he lost his company, the first thing he did was to review, and then he reframed that failure as number one, a reset, number two, a creative rebirth, and number three, an identity refinement. Now, after he had done that case study, what did he come up with? He created Next, he influenced Pixar, and eventually returned to Apple stronger and more visionary, simply because he did a review. Now, what are the key lessons from Steve Jobs' review? Reviewing transforms rejection into redirection. You don't grow from the event, you grow from the perspective that you extract. Life doesn't break your purpose, it sharpens it. You move forward by first looking backward with wisdom. So which means if you are not ready to look backward with wisdom, you are not going to move forward. Now, very quickly, is there anyone that has failed here before and you reviewed that failure and it became success? Is there anyone like that? Raise up your hands. You failed before. All right. Brother Jonah, very quickly, please share your experience with us in 3 minutes. You failed before, then you did a review, and then you were able to move forward.
Good evening, everybody.
All right.
Okay, yeah. In my early years of filmmaking, yes, I had, okay, so I rose the ranks. I didn't actually go to a film school. So I rose the ranks from, production assistant, from just basically writing concepts to being led to handle the camera. Then I just found out that I love the camera very much, and I centered on that, and over the years I became a very seasoned cinematographer from dwelling with all the best hands in the business, and all the best exposure you can think of. So, as having done that, he had his highs and his lows. Everything that I learned from that was capped by the people that I worked with. It was restricted to the people that I worked with, and it didn't give me that much of the industry standard. So, being the fact that that was my first exposure into filmmaking, it just created a wall around my deliverables. It created a wall around the level of the height that I could attain. But as time went on, because of that, I started to strive to go to a film school, to go study and say, okay, let me go to a film school and go study what this thing is about. All that failed because I didn't have the financial strength to be able to go to a particular film school. I did all I could to go to New York Film Academy or London Film Institute, did all the things that I could do to do that, but I didn't have the financial strength to do that. But, I sat back. At that point, I was like, okay, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life, because it's not bringing so much of the financial input that I need. Should I go back to school? Because it was a very tender age. I started off doing sports professionally. Straight out of high school, I was representing Nigeria. I captained the national team, played world championships, went to different countries, and I had a very dreadful injury that cut my journey short. And that's when I went into filmmaking. Sorry, I didn't start with that. That's when I went into filmmaking. So first things first, I was doing sports. I was announced, and it cut short during the All African Games in Koja because of an injury. Then luckily I was frolicking with sports. Thank God, I'm trying to meet the 3 minutes. I was frolicking with media, sorry. And I started to do television production as I was going. I was succeeding with the people that I was going with the same level. But at some point when my life and theirs, parted ways, I found myself being under a level of restriction, because everything that I knew was what I knew from them. So just like I said before, I didn't have the resources to go to a film school and everything to push myself to the next level. So I sat back down and I asked, do I want to continue with this? Do I want to go back to, like a proper structured, school environment like they respect around here in Nigeria and everything? So I sat back down and I did the research and I started to ask questions. So I started to research and all. Then my path crossed, online with a couple of mentors. So just because I love cinematography, I just reached out to some mentors online and I started to ask questions. And all of a sudden, one of them, Shell Hobart, he just introduced me to, a platform called No Film School. And that was because I sat down and I decided to ask questions and review how my life was. And he introduced me to a platform called No Film School. And on that platform, they give you every single resource that you can go to a film school and learn. And it just taught me another level of education, which is mentorship, which is what we're getting free of charge right now. Mentorship is one part of education that we don't pay attention to in this side of the world. There's that mechanical side of education, but mentorship is what particularly takes you through the ropes and helps you not make the mistakes that someone else has made. So it took my redressing, sitting back down, asking questions, and I got engaged to someone that I've never met before till today. In fact, I don't even watch his videos anymore, but I can't count how many countries I've been with. I can't count how many presidents I've worked with. I can't count how many people I've worked with from this job. Not because I have a certificate in filmmaking, but because I gave myself to it and I gave myself to a certain level of mentorship. And I've had many other mentors from there. So, the whole concept of calling yourself back at every point in time and sitting back down and saying, okay, is this working? Is this not working? And looking for the right answers cannot be overemphasized. It worked for me strongly.
All right. Thank you so much, Jonah. So there are 3 things I was able to glean from your experience. Number 1, you did not accept failure as a death sentence, because you could have accepted it as an obituary. So number 1, you did not accept failure as a death sentence. Number 2, you reviewed. You started asking questions. Number 3, you went for mentorship. And then number 4, based on what you were mentored on, you put your hands to work, and that's what brought you where you are today. Now, people, those are the 4 lessons we can learn. Number 1, when anything happens to you, it's not a death sentence. No matter what has happened to you, the only person that can make it a death sentence is you. So Jonah decided not to accept what had happened to him as a death sentence. Number 2, he reviewed. He started asking questions. And then number 3, he went for mentorship. And then number 4, he put his hands to work, and that's what brought him here today. Now, I've worked with him one-on-one, and I can tell you something, right? Until he tells you that he didn't go to a film school, you'll never know. He's as good as they come. All because he did not allow his life to be a death sentence. Now, sorry, I saw somebody's hand up before. If you feel before and you want to quickly share with us, but your video must be on. All
There's
right.
Harold Ogufemi too wants to speak.
All right, please. That's my childhood friend.
Oh, hi, Bros. How you doing? Welcome to the reset. You can unmute. You have the mic.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You have the mic, my brother.
Thank you so much for inviting us to this. When I saw it, I knew We're going to learn greatly from here. Well done for the work yourself and your wife continue to do in this space. So thank you. Okay, when you talk about failure,
Thank you, my brother.
Failure, it's part of you. It becomes a badge that you wear when you want to become an entrepreneur or you want to be successful in life. From my experience and my business life, I left the employment market 25 years ago, and I've not looked back. But it's been difficult. Have I failed? I've failed in 4 different businesses. To the extent that I was even taken to court on one. I sat in front of liquidators and all of that stuff. But that didn't stop me from carrying on. Where people could have owed that money and walked away, it was for me at that point in time to say, well, you know what? The bank, yes, I owe you 70 grand. I would pay that money back, but I have to pay it in installments. And today, by the special grace of God, all that money is paid off, and I'm still running my business. The same business I'm in here, I had expanded. I'd had 4 other branches. Things happened. I lost 2 branches, and I left it. I was one of the first businesses in the whole of Thorough as a black business, and things went wrong. But there's one thing that we put into work all the time. One, the God. For me personally, there is nothing I do. If God is not in it, I'm going to fail at it. So, and it continues to show on everything that I do. But secondly, you need to continue to rebuild yourself, and you need to continue to learn. That is why I'm on this webinar right now. You need to continue to learn, because you learn from other people's experiences and learn from what they are doing right now to make yourself better. If you sit in any business or any thing that you're doing in life and you think, I have reached my peak and I will continue, you're about to fail. You have to continue to learn. And when failure comes, when competition comes, it's not the time for you to panic. It is time for you to sit back. What have I done well? What are my targets? What have I not done well? How can I be better? Where you cannot find the answers, first go to God, and then 2, look for people in that same industry who you feel are doing a bit better than you and speak to them. Everything in life, sometimes we wake up and we think, no, I want to do this by myself. The world has changed. You cannot achieve a lot anymore by yourself. Sometimes you have to collaborate. Sometimes you have to meet people in the same space as you and network and engage together and do things better. So failure comes in every journey of a successful human being, but it does not hold you down. Also, don't allow it to hold you down. And lastly, you stand strong, focus on the plow, and you would achieve it. There's a Bible path in the Bible where Peter was walking with Jesus Christ, and then he started to sink because and Jesus Christ told him to focus back on him. Put your gaze and focus on back, and he started to walk. And that is the same thing in anything that you do. Every time that you see the storm and you panic, you're about to go down. But when you see the storm and you panic, go back to God, pray, look for people that are in your industry, work with them, talk to them, and learn from them. Have an open heart, and you can't go wrong. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Harold. I've known him for over 40 years. Over 40 years. Is my childhood friend. As a matter of fact, when we were in the physical building doing church, anytime he lives in UK, anytime he came to Nigeria, he won't tell me. He would just surprise us in church. He's a good friend, always been there. And if I don't get in touch with him, he will use reverse psychology for the pastor. You have abandoned your brother. Anyway, I love what he said.
First of all,
yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring to your attention that Queen B2 wants to quickly share something this time.
No, I want to review what Aro said first before I call Queen B. You understand? So Aro said 4 things. Harold said 4 things. He said, number 1, is unashamed of God in his business. I know that most of us here are godly people. He said, number 2, he has failed in 4 businesses. What he first did was that he made up his mind that he was going to rise. And then he embraced God, number 1. Number 2, continuous learning. What you learned yesterday might no longer be relevant today. You can imagine Toyota Corolla of 1970. And then they are still churning out the same model in 2025. Continuous learning. And then number 3, which echoes with what Jonah said. He said, look for mentors in the industry, those who know the industry well, and learn from them. And then number 4, he said, focus on the plan. Stand strong. Make up your mind. There will be storms. But like I said, the issue is not the storms. The issue is, what are you going to do with the storm? What are you going to allow the storm to do with you? All right, Queen B, you have the mic. Very quickly, 3 minutes so that we can move forward. You have the mic. Queen B, please unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So, Queen B, do you know what you and Harold have in common?
What?
Did you see the CLLR in front of his name?
Oh, in Thorok. Yeah, I didn't see it, but okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I'll make it very quick. I think Pastor Wale has given it away, the CLLR. So the earliest failure that I failed forward to was a couple of years ago. So I'm a coach. I do a lot of things in my community. I live in Coventry in the Midwest of UK, and I wanted to do more. I felt like I still wasn't doing enough, for my community. And I decided to stand for an election. And I had a mentor, a senior colleague who was my mentor. I listened, I went for training, and I stood for election, and I did not succeed. But guess what that made me? That made me even more resilient to want to do more. So I took the lessons learned from the failure, and I went back to the same place where I failed. And people were like, "Are you crazy? You've already failed. Why are you coming back here?" I said, "No, I learned. I took the lessons, and I'm failing forward." And I kept on going back, did my campaign, did my speeches, showing up, doing things, learning from my mentor, who is my senior colleague. And today we're colleagues, but I kept on learning, going for training, and I was resilient. People were not supporting me. I was laughed at by my own peers, by my own people, but I was just focused on my focus about wanting to do more and give more. And I kept on going and worked with my coach, worked with my colleagues, my mentor, and I became the first ever Black female counselor where I live. I wasn't even thinking of being a first anything. I was just thinking of becoming and giving back. And so that when that title happened, it was because I failed, but I did not stop. A lot of people failed, but they didn't go back. But I failed, and as I keep saying it, you fail forward, and I failed forward, and I became what I am today. And we're thriving, and it wouldn't have happened without my mentor and my coach. Thank you, Pastor Wale. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Queen B. So now, when you look at Queen B's account, there are 3 key things that she did. And those are things that we all need. Number 1, she was resilience. Right? She was resilience. Number 2, which is the same thing in what Jonah said and what Harold said, she learned the lessons. She reviewed. And then number 3, she didn't stop. She failed forward. You can either fail down or fail into the ground, or at the end of the day, you fail forward. So like I've been saying several times tonight, it's not the failing that makes you a failure. It's the staying down. If you've never failed before, you have never done anything. You have never tried anything new. But if you are going to try anything, you'll be ready. And that doesn't mean you don't have faith. It's not a lack of faith. The fact that you did it this way and you didn't get it, then try it another way. And like Harold said, depending on God, if you're a person of faith, to show you the way. All right, I was about to say praise God. I now remember that, okay, you are not in church. This is not unveiled. All right, let's go on. Now, there is a framework when you want to review. And I've called it the 3R review framework. Number 1, recognize. Number 2, release. And then number 3, recalibrate. When you want to review, there's a framework. Number 1, recognize. Number 2, release. And then number 3, recalibrate. Now, let us look at recognize. What does it mean to recognize? You see, if you are going to recognize, identify the major events, moments, and decisions of the year. So how do you recognize? Write down these questions. What were your top 5 wins in 2025? I have more than 5. What were your top 5 wins? And then number 2, what were your top 5 hard moments? For those who know myself and my wife very well, one of my top 5 hard moments was taking the prayer platform from Zoom to YouTube. It looked simple, but it was very hard for us. And then number 3, what habits shaped your year? What habits shaped your year? What were the things you were constantly doing? You know why? Every man's habit determines his future. And then number 4, what patterns repeated themselves? It's very important for you to know the patterns that repeated themselves. You know why? Because success is a pattern and failure is also a pattern. And then number 5, what relationships influenced you the most? Any relationship that is not adding to you is taking away from you. What relationships influence you the most? Now, what does this step do to you? It brings awareness, and awareness is the foundation of transformation. So, identify the major events, the major moments, and the decisions of your year. What are the guiding questions you ask? Let me go through it again. What were your top 5 wins in 2025? What were your top 5 hard moments? What habits shaped your year? What patterns repeated themselves? What relationships influenced you the most? What these steps will do is that it will bring awareness, which is the foundation of transformation. I see that some people have been asking, the replay will be made available for about 48 hours only, so that you can go through it again. All right, now, I want to take you through an exercise, right? Are we ready? Make sure that nobody is disturbing you wherever you are. I want to take us through an exercise right away. And that exercise is going to put you on the path of reviewing your year. So are we ready? If you are ready for that exercise, type yes in the chat room. Type yes. Are we ready to do that exercise? All right, keep it coming. Keep the yes coming. All right. Now, I think it's better that I actually project the slides. Now, close your eyes. Imagine your year playing on a screen. You are in front of your 100-inch TV and you are watching your year 2025 playing on that screen. See the highlights. See the low moments. See the turning points. What are they whispering about your next steps? What are the 3 lessons that you can learn? What are the 3 wins? What are the 3 things to release and let go and say bye-bye to forever? So close your eyes. Imagine your year playing on a screen. See the highlights of the year. See the low moments. See the turning points. What are they whispering about your next steps? What are the 3 lessons? What are the 3 wins? And what are the 3 things to release? Now, what I'm going to do now is that we are not going to rush, right? I'm going to play some instrumentals for the next 3 minutes, right? And for those next 3 minutes, I want you to focus, okay? I want you to focus and go through that exercise. And you find out that as you go through the exercise, clarity will start to come. So let me just project my screen. I hope I still remember how to project the screen while sharing the sounds at the same time. All right. Can you all see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
And then, can you hear the sounds?
Yes.
All right. Let's go through this for the next 3 minutes, and then I'll be back. your eyes. Imagine your ear playing on the screen. See the highlights. See the low moments. See the turning points. What are they whispering about your next steps? 3 lessons, 3 wins, 3 things to release. All right. Let's come back to class. Is there anyone that has done the review and wants to share with us? Please raise up your hands. You've done the review. You've been able to get the 3 lessons, the 3 wins, and the 3 things you want to release. Do we have anyone like that and you want to share with us? Or should I call someone? 3 lessons, 3 wins, and 3 things to release that mustn't go into 2026 with you.
All right. Mr. Wale Olushola, I have 3 lessons. I got that. But
all right, Mrs. Lolade Olushola, what are the 3 lessons you have? What are the 3 wins? And what are the 3 things you are going to release?
Okay, so maybe I should let Andrea go. I see that because there was nobody speaking. That's why I wanted to speak. Andrea, do you want to go?
All right.
All right, so I'll take a step back. Thank you.
Okay.
You have the mic.
Okay. Release offense very quickly.
Offense?
Yes, offense. I actually realized that in terms of resetting, I made a decision to reset every month because I noticed all my prior years, I've always been on the go. I never paused to think. And I intentionally this year said to myself, I will sit down with myself for 7 days at the beginning of the month, no social media, no communicating with people to a certain time. I did keep up with that until summertime. It got a bit wobbly because of some life changes. So that's one thing, is to continue resetting every month. I think that should still be something that I do every month. If I can do it longer than a week, great. And the last point, I forgot, Papa. My brain just went blank.
So 3 wins.
3 ways.
3 wins, right? 3
Yes.
wins for the year. 3 wins for the year. 3 lessons.
Okay.
That you've learned, and then 3 things that you are going to release.
Okay, yeah. So the wins that I would say, the 3 wins I've had is being able to advocate for myself very well this year. I've had wins with actually emailing a CEO regarding my car. That was sorted. The next win was a legal battle. Coming into a legal battle with a company. That was a win. And also, I would say the 3rd win is just being in a lovely, loving church, in my opinion. That was a win because that's an answered prayer for me. And it was something for me that I prayed for years. And I forgot about that prayer. But to now be in a place where it's loving, that's 3 wins for me in this year, to be in a loving church. Yeah. And the releases are definitely offense, and also on how to I think you can never avoid getting angry, but I feel is being more being
Manage, knowing how to navigate your anger.
navigate the anger, and also it's not about being vulnerable, but being in a way to actually speak and ask for help when I need help. I think that's something I need to learn better to do, and to not feel embarrassed or ashamed or anything like that. And that's it.
All right, beautiful. Let's give her a round of applause. Andrea, thank you for sharing with us. I remember when I was young, I used to think it was a round of applause, until I grew up and found out that it was a round of applause. All right, so let me quickly give the Auntie Reti, you have the mic, 3 minutes. What are the 3 lessons that you learned? The 3 lessons, the 3 wins, and then the 3 releases that you are willing to let go as you go into the new year. You have the mic.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Pastor Ole. Good evening, Pastor Lolade. So I will start with my losses. So I lost my dad this year. Very painful. Especially now that we're coming to Christmas, I'm thinking I won't.
Sorry, Auntie Reti, I'm not asking for the losses. The 3
Oh,
wins, 3 lessons, and then 3 things you are going to release into the new year.
I have to release pain because I found that the beginning of the year was in so much pain
All right.
that it means that I don't remember how the beginning of the year went. So I have to find a way to get rid of feeling pain to the degree where I lose memory.
All
Can't
right.
remember anything.
All right.
I have to lose that. In terms of wins, I think I discovered gratitude as a solution to everything. So when I'm grateful, and this is what the Holy Spirit told me, gratitude. I was stumbling into the word everywhere I went. And I knew that God was saying, just be in that position of gratitude. And so when I started to work in that manner, I began to gain clarity about where to go next, what to do next. So for a long time, all year it was hard. Should I just sit down and not do anything, or should I go back into my floristry and carry on? And when I decided to do it, it was shocking. That should have cost me £3,000 for whatever reason, and I don't know why. They said to me, "Oh, don't worry to pay £3,000. Just pay one." So I don't understand where that came from, but it was gaining clarity, stepping in obedience, and just receiving that gift. Another win for me would be in the direction of seeing my children grow, because I'm being supportive. I'm here. God has given me the grace. This is the whole reason I'm in England in the first place. It was because God said move. And so it's a win to actually see them making progress. That's
All
another
right. So
win.
what are the 3 lessons? So the 3 wins: gratitude, clarity, and seeing your children grow. Then what are the 3 lessons that you've learned this year?
Oh my goodness, gratitude is a huge lesson. Be grateful.
So we'll say that ingratitude is the lesson.
Ingratitude. Well, yeah, okay.
Yes. So yes, that's what has become gratitude. All right. So what's the second lesson?
Pain.
Pain. All right.
So
And what's the third
overcoming
lesson?
it quickly.
All right. What's the third lesson?
I think trusting God.
Trusting God.
Trusting Him made me move forward, and things
All
happen.
right. So trusting Him even when taking that step, even when you couldn't see the staircase.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Please let's give Auntie Reti a big round of applause for sharing. So, Jonah, because of time, I'll just move forward, right? I'll just have to move forward because I don't want to keep people for too long. All right. Thank you so much. So let me quickly go on. Now, closing perspective. You are not reviewing the past to go back. You are reviewing the past so that you can go forward wisely. Just like a pilot checks their dashboard before takeoff, your review ensures you fly into the new year with clarity and confidence and not guesswork. Review turns memory into momentum. Review turns experience into intelligence. Review turns your past into power. That's very powerful. Review turns your past into power. It gives you a template to be able to move forward. Now, what will you do next? It is in your hands. The past, like I've said several times tonight, is not a prison. It is a teacher. The lesson you learn today may be the wisdom that saves you tomorrow. You cannot change yesterday, but you can use yesterday to change your future. You cannot change yesterday, but you can use yesterday to do what? To change your future. A young boy came to see me today. You know, he had become wayward. He had started stealing money from his grandparents. And then his grandma became worried and reached out to my mom. And my mom told her that if there's anyone that can help your grandson, let him go and meet my son. So the boy came to me. And then the first thing I did was that I told him my own story. After telling him my story, we are laughing, blah, blah, blah. And guess what he said when he was going? He said, I almost did not want to come. I said, why? He said, I thought you were going to judge me. Because everyone else, I said, no, we already know what you did. There's no point in going over there. We already know. You see, there's no point in building a house where you fell down. The most important thing is building a house in the future. And then the guy left. And when he got home, he sent me, let me read the message that he sent. Just a minute. Let me see if I can get that message that he sent to me immediately he got home. Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me look for that message that is sent to me. Where is this message, yo? Message. This was the message he sent to me. He said, thank you so much for today, sir. I promise to change from my bad ways and turn a new leaf. Thank you so much once again for believing in me. The first thing I did was that I found a point of connection with him. I'm not different from you. And then I pulled him up. I told him I believed in him. And then we reviewed together, and then he has moved forward. So people, that is what you should do with your year. Reviewing doesn't mean you are staying stuck in the past. It's actually giving you ammunition to be able to get forward. Now, like I said earlier, what's the full meaning of reset? Review. The R is review. The power of looking back. Before you can move forward, you must first understand where you have been. The E means empower. The power of reclaiming strength. Empowerment is more than motivation. It's about taking ownership of your future. And then number 3, the S means strategize. The power of clear direction. Vision without strategy is just imagination. And then the E means execute. The power of consistent action. If you listen to Jonah's story, Aaron's story, Queen Bee's story, right? There was consistent action. Despite the fact that they had failed, they consistently took action. They were resilient. They reviewed, and then they were able to move forward. And then the T means transform. The power of becoming new. Transformation is the ultimate goal in evolving into the person capable of sustaining success, evolving into the person capable of sustaining success. The me that you are seeing now is not the same person 10 years ago. I've been able to review. I've been able to empower. I've been able to strategize. I've been able to execute, and then I've been able to transform. Now, transformation is not a one-time process. It is something that goes on and on. Now, what I've done this evening is that I've shown you how to review, but I've not shown us how to empower. I've not shown us how to strategize. I've not shown us how to execute, and I've not shown us how to transform. So how to empower, how to strategize, how to execute, how to transform comes up in the Reset Leadership Workshop. Now, the Reset Leadership Workshop is a 5-day leadership workshop with Wole Olushola. Review, empower, strategize, execute, and transform. So it's going to be coming up on January 27th to 31st, 2026 for 5 days, while the last day will be a physical meeting, although it will be broadcast live for those joining online. The Reset webinar: review, empower, strategize, execute, and transform is going to be coming up on January 27th to 31st, 2026. And you see, by the time you go through this webinar, it will give you power to take control of your life so that you start having predictable results in every area of your life. So if you want to register, not that if you want to, you should register for the Reset Leadership Workshop, because I'm tested, I'm tried, I'm trusted at what I do. And I know that everybody can attest to that. So very shortly, I'm going to be handing back over to Ololade, and she's going to give us the full details about what the Reset Leadership Workshop is all about. All right, Ololade, you have the mic.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Wole Olushola, for that powerful time of reviewing. So the link to do that is live in the chat room. And the good thing is you have a 10% discount in 48 hours. 10% discount expires on the 1st of December. The Reset Leadership Workshop happening live on the 27th of, is happening live on the 27th of January to the 31st of January, 5 solid days of setting up 2026 as the best year of your life. If you register for it, it's 500,000, but tonight you have 10% discount and you'll be paying 450,000. We already have somebody. Yes, we have our first, Yes. Thank you for that. We have our first participant do the payment. Yes. So we have how many to go? 5,000 to go. But really, you have that. First and foremost, I also want you to say how many people are first? How many people enjoyed this session? If you enjoyed this session, before we even continue to sell, what is one word? If you're going to say one word for this session that we just did, what are you going to use to say for this session? One word. I would like to hear from you before I put, the chat again. Don't let us become cold. This is it. Empowering. Thank you so much. Mommy Irene say empowering. I'm waiting to hear from you. Empowering, so that we can say thank you to Mr. Wole. Inspired, revamping, transforming, energizing. Awesome. More to come. More. Are we still there? More to come. And how has it been for me? It has been life transformation. Failure is not your end. Failure is not your end. Before we start getting into rice and chicken and getting into parties for 2025, it's important that we invest in our 2026. It's important that you give somebody a gift that makes sense for the new year. Challenging, insightful, awesome. Give somebody a strength, Andres says strength, enlightening. All right, enlightening. A lot of people are saying enlightening. Thank you so much for that. So before we go tonight, the link to do that is in the chat room. You will also be getting that live in your box. Please, if you want to register, yes, thank you again, Remy, for dropping that. The link is right there in the chat room. You have a discount to do that in 48 hours. Olugrade says, mind-blowing. So you have that. Please put up again. It's going to take place 5 days. And also, I want us to know if you would like to do group, if you want it to be for your organization, just reach out on that page on woleolushola.com, the registration page. There is a WhatsApp chat where you can chat. We have bundles for people that want to form their organization. So you can do that right in the chat room. Send a message via your organization, whatever you want to do, we will be excited, we'll be happy at the Wale Olushola Incorporated to be able to attend to you. So maybe now you are thinking, this is going to be wonderful for my church. Wow, this is going to be wonderful for my organization. If you can just go as a team, you are going to be enjoying multiple discounts. So thank you everyone again. Don't forget, as we have said at the beginning of this webinar, to please tag Wale Olushola with the haha moment. I know a lot of us had haha moments in this. If I unmute people now and say, what is your haha moment? I'm sure everybody has something to say. So please, your haha moments, please, you can put it up on your stories on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Just make sure you tag Wale Olushola and he will of course be responding to you. It will be sharing, and it will be also encouraging to see that you were touched and you had an experience with this almost 2 hours that we have spent to you today. So again, I want to say a big thank you to everyone that attended this wonderful time together. I'm so excited. At least one person has paid, and as pastors, we say that when there is a soul that has been saved in heaven, they rejoice over one. So we pray that that one will become 100, that one will become 500, that one will become 1,000, and that one will become 2,000. Is somebody saying amen to that? To say thank you to Pastor Wale for this time that he has set apart, for this wonderful time of the Reset Leadership Retreat. The Reset Leadership Retreat. Maybe there's somebody you love so much. I think it's time for you to gift them this wonderful gift for the new year. So let's all say thank you, PW. I'm saying thank you, PW. I'm going to come give you a big hug. We did it. Thank you so much. I can't go without saying thank you so much for the team behind. I want to say a big thank you to my lovely Andrea that has stood with us in this time to make sure that this comes to pass. I will say a big thank you to Pastor Wale's executive assistant, Remy. I also want to say a big thank you to Mr. Jonah that spoke. He is our cinematographer, officially creative expert in our team that has done all the things that you have seen. There are some people that are not here right now. I want to say a big thank you to Timothy Spigens, who is our lead of our strategy, is a prophetic strategist. And also want to say a big thank you to my designer, Marcel Jesse. He has been working with me for the past 12 years thereabout, and I was on his neck. He was like, Mommy, you are going to kill me today. I said, yes, so this thing has to be excellent. So, and of course, to my dear sister, Tolu Afonja, and for everyone that has attended this webinar, we say thank you. If you have set up this webinar and nobody came, just imagine how that would have been. But I want to also remind you that you are going to get the recording. Just check your mails in the next maybe before you go to bed, you'll get the recording of this for you to have access to in the next 48 hours. After 48 hours, you won't be able to watch it anymore. So you're going to get the recording for you to watch again and again. I think it's something that you have to watch again and again and again. So thank you, and hope to see you all at the Wale Olushola Reset Leadership Retreat in January 2026. I want to say here, Wale, I love you and I'm so proud of you. You did it. All right. God bless you and have a wonderful night. Wale, do you want to say anything before we go?